Welcome back. Now, the National Peace Council is to convene a high-level election stakeholders meeting on electoral violence, impunity and injustice on Wednesday, November 23. The council fears recent clashes between the NDC and MPP supporters could spark electoral violence in this year's elections.
The NDC and MPP supporters recently clashed near the residence of the MPP presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo during a health walk organized by the NDC on November 13. The two-party supporters also engaged in another clash in the Ododo constituency after separate rallies and again at Asokore in the eastern region on Sunday morning after a health walk. The party's supporters later engaged in accusations and counter-accusations as to which side ignited the clashes. These developments, the National Peace Council says, cast a slur on the country's democracy and must be managed before they escalate.
This act should awaken all Ghanaians to the reality that electoral violence is possible. The current level and spate of violent clashes between the NDC and MPP have the potential to fuel or to foul the political atmosphere during and even after the election.
Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante called on the party supporters to exercise restraint as they embark on their campaigns.
It is pertinent to note, ladies and gentlemen, that Ghana is bigger than any political party, and that political hooliganism and violence have never been a legitimate mechanism for accession to political power in any part of the world.
He charged the police administration to take more action on the incidents of violence.
A lot of people have talked about this health walk business. People are there to promote their own parties. But I think we can do it in such a way that you do not facilitate these two parties who do not seem to see eye to eye.
The council says it is convening a high-level meeting national leaders on Wednesday, November 23 to discuss issues of electoral violence, impunity and justice in a run-up to the elections.
Right, let's quickly speak to Dr. Edward Brinya, who is a senior political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He's joining us via Skype. Dr. Brinya, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening.
So it's 15 days to the elections, and some politicians have been accused of engaging in tribal politics based on their utterances. Do you think Ghanaians really vote along tribal lines for which these politicians might be influenced to be putting out such negativity?
I think that I've said that following the outcome of the U.S. election, it's very difficult for us to try to gauge political behavior. I mean, voters' behavior is difficult to gauge. I believe strongly that we are in a century where voters know what they want, and because they know what they want, it is dicey to actually determine if some of these things are going to be influenced by some of the statements that are made, tribal statements or sentiments that are made by some of these politicians. So we might not be in a position to tell if they do vote by tribal politics or not.
But I know we're quick, the media and civil society are quick to criticize the aspirants for making such comments. But what's wrong if you say, for example, I mean, you voted for this person who is from that region, so give me a chance, vote for me too. Is there anything wrong with that? See, looking at the nature of our social structure?
You know, we are living in a country that when you are not careful, if you should try to amass vote based on ethnicity or tribalism, that it might end up being misinterpreted or people might use it negatively. I believe strongly that we don't go into the office of the presidency based on tribal or ethnic affiliation, but rather we go there as Ghanaians. I don't really see what is wrong if we are appealing to people to vote for us because of our connectivity with them, whether it is religious, whether it is tribal. It is only when individuals may use that tribal tendencies to sort of get into some sort of violence or to deny others access to their share of the national cake, that it becomes a problem. But we've always related to each other based on things that we share in common. And I think that is what some of these politicians are trying to do. It becomes only negative if we use it in a negative sense.
But you don't think that we're flogging a dead horse, that this is dead news before it's arriving, the issue of tribal nature of the politics? This has been ongoing for many elections, isn't it?
Exactly. This has always been ongoing, and whether we like it or not, even in the developed democracy, US, we had Obama in the last election appealing to the blacks that if they wanted a continuity of his policies, that they should vote for Hillary Clinton. So I think that as human beings, we've always tried to appeal to people based on some of the things that we share together, and that is exactly what happened in many instances. It is when it is used negatively in a way that it can incite people against certain groups. That is where I think it's very bad.
And do you think it's fair for civil society, journalists, and anyone else to appeal to the electorate not to vote for people who come to them soliciting vote using tribal sentiments, inciting their tribal sentiments?
I didn't get that.
Right.
The line was breaking.
Right, that's fair. I'm asking whether you think it's fair for us to say electorates should not vote for particular candidates because of these comments, these tribal comments.
Yeah, if the comments are saying that it's being used negatively, then of course you can tell electorates don't sort of be deceived by some of these comments. Assess how some of these candidates can actually help to better your life. But I said it's never wrong with politicians trying to appeal based on what they think they share with the electorates. And I think it's been done globally, even though we tend to condemn it on many occasions.
Right, Dr. Edred Brenya, we're grateful for your time. Dr. Edred Brenya is a senior political science lecturer at the University of Science and Technology, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.